Okay, chosen ones. All right, welcome back. Welcome back again to another episode on Npc'S Motivates. Ladies and gentlemen, chosen ones, you know I gotta come back to you with another video so we can talk about your wicked and evil enemies and these zombies and Npc'S and everything that's been giving you such a hard time for so very long, trying to destroy you. But what I wanted to tell you about today was, see, it's not you that they don't like. It's your anointing that they don't like. And it's also, the fact that you can be bought or paid for. So this ruins their whole plan of like control and manipulation. You had to be like willing to either be compromised, or else if you can't be compromised, then then you have to be something wrong with you, or discredited, or you're crazy. But the thing about you is, see, you saw the truth. The Most High revealed it to you, okay? Once you saw the truth, you could not unsee the truth. You saw the whole illusion. You saw the loop. You saw the matrix. You saw through all of that. See, you have a unique coding within you. This is the reason why, they did the whole thing with back in 2019. It was actually targeting the chosen ones. They know about our bloodlines. They know about our unique coding. They wanted to alter our code. But we wouldn't do that. We would, because we had our spiritual discernment and our third eye open to see through all of that. Okay? So what these people have been doing this whole time has been gang stalking you and monitoring you and waiting for you now to make a mistake. Like I said before, they've been trying to get a reaction out of you. They've been trying to get anything out of you to validate their delusion and illusion about you. To make it like public that you are emotionally unstable, or that you have something wrong with you. But you know that that's not true. And the thing about it is now that all the other people in your community, or wherever they have been trying to discredit you for so long, they're starting to see that all the smear campaigns and everything about you don't add up. And the reason why they don't add up, because like I had told you before in other videos, your actions don't align with their narrative or their story about you. So this is creating a major problem for all of them. You are a major problem for the kingdom of darkness and for all your haters who refuse to see you, recognize you, or acknowledge your truth, because, like I said before, they have to control the narrative, and they have to keep as many people asleep as possible. But once you awaken, you can never go back to sleep, chosen one. So what you've been noticing now is you've been noticing how most of these people have distanced themselves from you now, or that once you cut them all off, you haven't seen them no more now. And so everything is just making more sense now about everything, and it's starting to like you're getting the downloads, you're getting your own intuition and everything like that. This is the way it has always been with you, and this is what they have always hated about you. The fact that, see, chosen ones, see, we can pick up on negative energy. We can pick up on low vibrational people. We have a keen ability to sense them. We have a keen ability to feel their presence whenever they're around. We can see them through our discernment. And this is what they don't like. Because their whole goal is deception. They're Decepticons, like I told you before. So what they're trying to do is run game on you. But the thing is that they can't run game on you because you can kind of just like size up what's going on. You can size the situation up. This is where you are very intelligent. You're a highly intelligent being. You're a being of light, like I told you before. So they've been trying to like humiliate you and everything like this, to downgrade you, to downplay you, to make you less than, and all of this and that and the other, to make you doubt yourself for all this time, for all this long period of time. And it's just been one thing after another that they've hit you with. They've hit you with so many different things. See, this is the reason why not everybody is chosen. Not everyone who's claiming to be chosen is not chosen. Because there's a lot of people out here who claim to be chosen, but they hadn't been hit by everything that we've been hit by. So, you know, there's a lot of people claiming to be chosen, but they're doing other things. They're playing with crystals, they're playing with tarot cards and stuff like that. I've done told you about this before. But we don't need none of that. We don't use that. The real chosen ones, we trust in the Most High. We don't deal with the dark arts or in any way. We don't consult, you know, spirit boards or looking glasses, crystal balls, or nothing like that. We don't deal with none of that. These are the people who we are actually exposing, the people who does this. This is the reason why we've had such a hard life. This is the reason why they've been doing everything they can to make life impossible for us out here in this world. Because we're not of this world. And because we refuse to conform. Because we know that the current agenda and the current system is doing nothing but destroying society. We know that it's all unnatural, and we know that the principles in the Word of God are the foundations that hold up society. And we know that there are certain things that have been established that cannot be changed. There are certain principles that as much as man tries to change it, he can't. So these people who you've been dealing with, these zombies, Decepticons, whatever, they operate out of this spirit of arrogance because they feel like they've gotten themselves into this, like, I want to say, like, cocky type of attitude. They throw their money around, they know they can buy off police, judges, lawyers. They feel like their money, is going to save them. That their money is going to be able to be what they can use to empower them against you with all of the things they've been doing to you by paying people to watch you, paying people to to do all kinds of things to try to discredit you, to slander you, to spread rumors about you. Or even they was doing it themselves, and they've tried to pay people dough, and they've gotten people together to come together to believe all the lies about you. Because like I said before, these people, they have to stop you by any means necessary. They're desperate to stop you and to stop your assignment. Really what they know is they know that your assignment is here to empower people to break free from bondage and to break free from the spell, and that your assignment will take away their power. And this is what they dread. But it's happening anyway. Because what they didn't know was that when they came up against you and crossed you, they didn't know that none of their money or nothing that they used, that they felt so cocky and arrogant with, could be strong enough or overpower the energy and the frequency that you carry. Because like I said, your code and everything like that, and your frequency and your energy is way too high vibrational, and it actually is like a force field, and the Most High is way more powerful than any of their dark arts or anything. So what you're dealing with is spiritual warfare, and that that's what it is. And they know that you are powerful spiritually as well. And this is what really infuriates them to the max. It's the fact that that you exposed them, and there's really nothing they can do about it other than try to grasp at straws. And this is infuriating them too as well. And the fact that they've already wasted a lot of their time. They've spent a lot of time on nonsense. They've been spending time with their, $1 million, $1 billion programs to try to make you lose your mind, like MK Ultra and things like this and that. And they've been wasting all of their resources, their money, paying practitioners, when even some of the practitioners that they paid warned them about you. They were warned about your energy and about who you are. They were warned not to just to leave you alone. Basically, is what they were told. So when they found all this information out about you, this made them all the more powerfully jealous. So the jealousy just, because you are a special creation, see, chosen one. That's the reason why you've been able to endure all this time, and why you've been able to survive what most people could not have. And I've done told y'all my whole story about how they've taken everything from me because of this. But for a long time, us chosen ones, we just kind of like, when we were asleep still, thought that we were just less fortunate individuals, that we just had a harder life than other people or something like that. But then as time went by, and as we awakened and remembered who we were, then everything started coming together. Everything started making more sense. We started understanding, okay, this has been spiritual warfare. Then we remembered our lives, like we started reflecting on our lives and where we grew up, and how our whole lives we've been fighting bullies in school, how we could never be liked in school, how we always had to deal with teachers that was mean to us and overload us with lots of homework and stuff like that, and how we just couldn't, we could never really be accepted in the public school system or anything like that either. So we were outcasts and we were rejected by a lot of people even when we were little. And a lot of people, the younger kids and stuff, our peers and stuff at school, picked on us, made fun of us, probably because we had on more ragged clothes, because we weren't as affluent as some of them or their family members. And so we weren't like real preppy and stuff like that, or looking a certain way. So they made fun of us, and this caused us to get into fights when we were younger, because we didn't know what it was. But we know now what it was. It was the demonic entities even back then that saw our spirit, that knew the unique person we were, and they knew what we were here for even since way back then. But we didn't really know all of that. We just thought that we were just being hated on. Well, we were. We have been being hated on. Because that's what happens to those who are chosen. It's the same thing, similar to like what happened to, Yeshua, Jesus, when he was trying to show the truth to the Pharisees and the Sadducees. It caused them to be irritated, it caused them to hate on him. So this is the same thing. It's very similar to what happened to many of the prophets, to what happened to many of the other chosen ones, like Daniel, who they threw in the lion's den. But, this is what happens. We understand now what happens and the reason why all of these things happen. It's because we're just different. And they can't stand the fact that no matter how hard they try, they can't really get us to bend or break or change from what we know. Because even though we may have stumbled, we always still knew the truth. That didn't ever stop us from knowing the truth. Just because we made mistakes and things like that, that didn't ever erase the truth from us. We've always known the truth. And we've been seeing everything happening that we told most of the people that we encountered would happen is happening right now. Right now. And so they're working towards this whole Revelation 13 and the mark of the beast and the one world government, one world church system, where the masses are going to be led astray. But we're here during this special, unique time. We've been placed here to raise awareness Each and every one of us has our own unique gifts and abilities that we utilize to reach out to the others, and to everyone, but especially the other chosen ones can relate. Other people can't relate. That's the reason why there's a lot of people who claim to be chosen, but they can't relate because they haven't been through the suffering. They haven't been through the same fire that we've been through. They just can't. They're not like us. They can try to be, they can act like they want to be, but they don't want to be. I don't even want to be this way. I've done told you in certain videos. I do not like being chosen. If you are chosen and you like being chosen, then you're different from me, because I don't like to be chosen. I never wanted to do none of this. Matter of fact, I tried not to be chosen. But I had to come to the realization that that's what it was. And then I had to accept it for what it is, and understand who I am, and understand why I was the black sheep of the family. Understand everything, the reason why I was outcast, why I was ostracized, why my music was rejected, everything. I had to come to the realization and understand all of these things. And it's been hard to have to accept. But I'd rather accept this and have my peace of mind, because there's lots of pros and cons that comes with being chosen. You know, the cons of being chosen is that you're just not liked. You're not liked. But the pros of being chosen is that you know the one who does like you is the only one that matters. And you know that you didn't have to wrong nobody or stomp nobody down or do nothing, you know, to compromise your integrity and who you know you stand for. You didn't have to sell out. You didn't have to go behind closed doors and do something that went against your humanity. And so that's the reason why, you know, it's at the end of the day much better being this way. And so what we have to do as chosen ones is we just have to try to find gratitude in everything. Be thankful for all things. This is the way we continue to make progress and advance out here. And this is what our enemies hate. See, we live off of our small victories and off of the things that we know we are capable of and that we have achieved. And we live off of the ability to see our own gifts and talents regardless of whether others do. So this is what helps us to keep moving forward through this matrix. But the matrix is never going to stop attacking you, chosen one, because they know who you are and they don't like it. They're never going to like you, because you're a mirror and you reflect to them everything that they done wrong and that they should have. You're the one who's been placed here to show them that everything that they believe is delusions, because many of these people are narcissists and psychopaths who you're dealing with. These zombies, that's what they are. So it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of strength, and it takes a lot of resilience to be this way. Not everybody can do this. This isn't the life for everybody. But like I had said before in other videos, As hard as this life has been, and as hard as this life still currently is for many of us, especially me, and for many of you chosen ones, you know, they've done made you homeless and everything, because that's what these psychopaths want to see. They want to crush your spirit. That's part of the humiliation rituals. Is to crush your spirit. They've wanted to make life virtually impossible for you, because you refuse to accept what they want. And that's your conformity, your assimilation, and your acceptance of the status quo. So you've had to endure all these hardships because of this, because you won't accept that, and you can't be controlled, and you can't be manipulated, and you can't be bought off. That's what they thought that you would eventually do. That's how they've been keeping this whole Ponzi scheme going. That's how they've been keeping this spell over everyone, by buying everyone off, buying them all off. So this has been the separation of the wheat from the weeds, spoken of in Matthew chapter 13, verse 36 through 42. The parable of the wheat and the weeds. So we've seen that we are the wheat and they are the weeds. And we exposed them for being the weeds. And this is why they hate us even more. That's exactly what we do, ladies and gentlemen, chosen ones. And you know it. So they're never going to stop trying to make things up about you. They're never going to stop talking about you. They're obsessed with you. They're never going to stop, you know, watching you, looking at you, spying on you. They're never going to stop none of that. Because they jump from person to person, so it don't matter where you go. It doesn't matter where you go. So I'm currently still in this isolation, and I've done told y'all everything that I've endured. I've shared my story, and I'm going to continue to share my story with you, that it really is true, that spiritual warfare is real. I'm living proof of it. And that, you know, if you stand up to the Matrix, if you go against the Matrix, then they will try to erase you for that. So they tried everything in their power. They hit me with pretty much everything they had in their arsenal. And none of it worked. Because we are guided by our internal guidance system. That's what we go off of. Many of these people, they go off of their greed and their impulse and their jealousy. That's what drives them. Their jealousy and hatred and greed. And their arrogance. That's what they operate off of. Feeling like they're better than everyone else, more superior than everyone else. And wanting everyone else to put them on a pedestal or to chase clout. But we won't do that. So this is what we refuse to do, and this is what's got them highly pissed off. But now they're finding out, they're beginning to find out that we're unbreakable and that we can't be stopped. We're unstoppable. And that we are mighty warriors in the army of the Most High. And we are here to complete our assignment, regardless of what they do. So the best thing for them to do would just be to move out the way and let us do our thing. But we already know they ain't never going to do that. They're always going to resist to the very end. Because these people, like I said before, are psychopaths and sociopaths, narcissists, and they're unwilling to face the fact that they've made mistakes in their life, that they've done the wrong thing with their life, and they are not willing to do the inner work to change. And this goes from the bottom to the top, from the very bottom all the way to the top. Because these demons, they don't know nothing about, status or wealth or nothing like that, or what you have, or if you have less than. Demons can be in the poorest people, and the worst demons can be in the most richest people. So they're all around you out here, and they're more prevalent than ever. And given the chance, they will take every opportunity to stomp over you again, or to manipulate you and control you again. This is the reason why, after you went through everything that you went through and all the different hardships and the different struggles, the betrayals, the sabotage, the smear campaigns, and the whole nine, that now you can't trust many people and you have to use your discernment. It's taught you to use your discernment. It's taught you also not to just give anybody your energy. Not everybody deserves access to you, chosen ones. People have to earn their access to you. People need to earn your respect. People need to earn, you have to show them, and this is what they don't like now, this is what's driving them insane, that you're showing them now that you ain't the one to be played with no more, and that they need to earn your respect and earn their opportunities to have your presence. So if they can't handle your presence, then the best thing for you to do is to give them your absence. And that's what many of you have had to do, including myself, during this period in time. But just know that if you've experienced these things, that you are not alone, that I'm with you. I've been going through it myself. It really has almost broken me. I really have almost lost my mind because of it, because that's what it's all designed to do. This is what they did. This is what they have designed the program for, the Matrix for. It's designed for the specific purpose to make us out to be the crazy ones or to drive us crazy. So now everything that they wanted for us, many of these people, they're getting that for themselves now. They're the ones who's losing their minds. They're the ones who's going crazy because it's boomerang season. And it's returned to sender 100-fold back to the sender. Everything they sent at us. The death spells, the curses, everything. And they know that too. This is the reason why they're terrified right now. Many of them are panicking. They can't handle it. Because they don't have our strength or resilience. So when they start losing everything, and when they start having a bunch of bad things happening to them, and all the things that's happening to them that's terrible, and when they feel the same demons on top of their chest and riding them and everything that they tried to put onto us, giving them the anxiety and the torment and the torture, they ain't gonna be able to handle it like we did. Because they're not like us. Like I said, we are the Diamond Royals. We had to learn everything to battle them in the spiritual realm. Because we fight this spiritual war different than the program wants us to fight. If we fought the program the way the program wanted us to fight, then they would have done had us. And the enemy would have done clipped our wing. That's what they've been wanting the whole entire time. So anyway, I hope this video helps someone out, chosen one. And just remember, you don't ever have to give no one your energy that you don't want to. You don't have to give no one, you don't have to seek revenge, you don't have to, retaliate, you don't have to do none of that. All you have to do is let the Most High fight your battles for you. And all you have to do is stay grounded, because you're the real celebrity. And you don't need to share your stage with no clown or no hater. All right? So just remember that and keep fighting, keep holding on, keep staying strong. Just know that I'm with you, like I said before. Stay motivated, stay encouraged. Keep reaching for your goals and never give up. Till the next one, I'm going to catch y'all all on the next one. As always, peace, love, light, blessings to you all, chosen ones. Till the next one, I'm going to see y'all on the next one, man. Peace. I'm out.